Hey, welcome to Pound for Pound Sports. I'm your host, Nick Eustace.
And I am Darren Anderson.
Thank you guys so much for joining us once again on what we like to call Webcast Wednesday. Let me throw out our website. You're probably already watching it on there, but I got to do it anyway, pfpsports.com. I also want to point out, click on your main page. You'll see the ESPN icon Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or you know what? Check us out on iTunes. All of our shows are on there, too. I actually listened to like the last 3 of them on iTunes. It's actually it's pretty easy if you got an iPhone, so check us out, everybody. Facebook, Pound for Pound Sports. Make sure you hit like. I notice new likes every week. We appreciate that, and we keep trying to put up new stuff every day so you won't get bored. At Nick PFP Sports. You can find me on Twitter. I'm always on there.
I'm on Twitter at Darren PFP Sports. Don't follow me. Nobody does.
Yeah, not as many as me, but
yeah, well,
who's counting? It's all good. Hey, I also want to point out real quick before we dive into the stories that we're going to have a lot of women fighters coming up here on Webcast Wednesday. For one, because it's visual. Everybody needs exposure. And we've got a really good fan base, which, by the way, I keep getting new followers from everybody in the UK. Not that I have a problem with that. I love the UK, but it's funny. I don't know why all from over there all of a sudden. It's just kind of...
We're big in the UK, man. What can you say?
Coincidental. Hey, man, we love it. Thanks so much for your support, Justin TV, everybody. Darren, we were talking about it for 2 weeks now. Orlovsky, Sylvia 4. I don't know. Is it fair to say I trashed it? I don't think I trashed it. I think we just pointed out every reason why it's, not relevant anymore, and why you shouldn't pay $20 to go see it. I want to ask you your initial impression after the fight. Orlovsky, for those of you that don't know, won by it's not fair to say he won by soccer kick. It looked like Sylvia was out on the way down, and he finished him up with soccer kicks, but it was the soccer kicks inevitably that got Andrei Arlovsky the DQ for this one. I guess apparently they weren't going by the old pride rules, and I guess the rule of thumb is that somehow, some way, when you're in the middle of combat sports and your opponent's on the ropes, I guess you're supposed to stop and ask for permission if it's okay to use a soccer kick.
How stupid is that? No, the referee gives you permission.
Oh,
so go ahead and kick that guy in the face now.
Does he got to think about it for a second?
No, I think it's just the ref's way of making sure he's not out cold before you kick him in the face. But you're supposed to wait for some sort of signal from the referee. How stupid of a rule is that?
I mean, that you talk about micromanaging talent and just everybody in a promotion. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It doesn't even seem to bother Arlovsky. He said he's not sorry for the DQ. Apparently, there's been some bad blood there for some time. Before a fight like that, you got to wonder how much of it's hype, how much of it's legit. But he doesn't seem to be sorry.
Headbutt? How come nobody wants to talk about the headbutt Tim Sylvia threw in the first round?
That's a good point.
There was a clear headbutt that Big Timmy threw, and nobody wanted to talk about that. We just want to talk about the disqualification soccer kick.
Well, yeah, you don't hear about that at all, and you know what? That's actually pretty interesting because I think would it be fair to say the general consensus isn't that everybody's saying, "Oh, you cheater, you used the soccer kick when you shouldn't." Everybody saw a win, and I think it's fair to say everybody's comfortable enough what they saw that they could live with the end result, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I in my mind, Orlovsky won that fight. And then, to be quite honest with you, I think soccer kicks should be legal, period. So we don't even have that problem.
Well, but now just so they don't see that anymore. Now, I guess ONE FC, it's just one of those things in the that happen from time to time that kind of dictates, how you got to change the rules and whatnot. And I guess they're going to go with the old school pride rules, soccer kicks, head stomps, this and that. They said old school pride, so that's, buy a DVD, man. Check it out.
And I made the mistake. I was one of those suckers that actually bought the pay-per-view here in the United States that they didn't even air it until Sunday night. So, you have to stay off all the forums because it was over for 2 days by then. Very disappointed that the Tim Sylvia Andrei Arlovsky fight wasn't even on that. After that was over, one of the main reasons I even bought the pay-per-view to begin with. And then I had to kind of search for that on some of the websites.
Did you say it wasn't on that?
It was not.
Did I hear you correct?
It was not on the.
So the $9.99, you didn't get to see that.
$14.99, and I did not get to see the Andrei Arlovsky fight.
I didn't even know that.
No,
I suppose that's because I didn't bother paying. I just looked at it on the internet like everybody else did.
No, and it was the production. We had our Henzo Gracie and some guy. I didn't even know who it was, but it was. That's not worth the $14.99. Let me tell you, the best part about the entire night is I got to watch Babalu. That was the best part of the entire card.
No doubt, man. I'm a huge fan of Babalu. Love to talk to that guy.
But as far as the Tim Sylvia Andrei Arlovsky fight, it was exactly what I expected. I was actually
were you expecting the other way around?
Big Timmy landed a couple shots, and I was surprised to see Andrei Arlovsky wear them, man.
Yeah, he did. I was going to say
his chin is suspect. So I was actually really really surprised when I saw Andrei Arlovsky wearing those shots. But if this just made one thing perfectly clear to me, is that neither one of these guys belong in the UFC.
Well, like, I just want to. What do you mean by that exactly? I mean, I think
Neither
it's
one
fair
of
to
these
say
guys,
Tim. He doesn't even look the part anymore. But like, is it Arlovsky's chin that holds him back? What is it?
Just neither one of these guys look to me like a UFC talent anymore.
If his chin wasn't suspect, would you say that he belongs in the UFC? If throw all the chin issues out the window, I mean, you think his stand-up look bad enough?
He looks the part, but
his kicks.
How can I throw his chin out the window?
See,
that's the one reason
that's
his biggest fault.
No, to me that's exactly why he shouldn't be in the UFC.
I mean,
but
if he had a granite Chris Lieben type chin, absolutely, I think I could still see him fighting in the UFC.
Well, yeah, I mean, I to be honest with you, I think it's fair to say we saw somewhat of a different Andrei Arlovsky, just that he wasn't a guy that was looking to counterpunch. I mean, sometimes you wonder where a guy likes to utilize a lot of leg kicks. Last couple fights, you really don't see that. You haven't even really had a chance to see that, to be honest. But in my opinion, he looked a little different, just that there's no way you were going to back him up against the cage, and he was trying, by any means necessary to wear as few shots as possible. He's trying to keep the guy at distance, which, it's kind of funny because I always like to use analogies, and it kind of reminds me of, a pitcher that blows out his arm has to learn how to pitch when he comes back. If you would have just learned how to pitch all the way, the whole time, where would you be today?
In this spot. Yeah, you're probably right.
If he would have been using that same strategy and keeping somebody at bay, I got to wonder if he would have wore as many on the chin as he has the last couple fights.
That's a good point.
So anyway, it's neither here nor there. They're not in the UFC. They're not going to be anytime soon. So.
No.
To sit here and talk about it is kind of redundant. So, speaking of things that are redundant, Brock Lesnar, Fedor. I don't know if a lot of people out there pay attention to a lot of the forums and rumors. I mean, it's kind of hard not to when you cover this stuff, but there's some rumors kind of running rampant that Dana White was in talks with Fedor and trying to put together a Brock Lesnar matchup, which, if you think about it, is kind of the exact opposite of where Dana left off with both of those people. I mean, Brock Lesnar, last I heard, was committed to the WWE for a certain amount of time. Fedor, of course, he retired. And Dana was he was really quick to kind of debunk that myth or that rumor, if you will. And he says, absolutely not. It's not like he doesn't want to see that fight, but it's basically for the same reasons. I mean, Brock's committed somewhere else, and he says he couldn't get Fedor to come to the organization when he was fighting. How's he supposed to do that when he retires? So, that's another matchup that it's fabrication. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Before we go to the next story, I wonder, is that something you'd want to see at all? Is that something since you'll pay for ONE FC, I figure it might be relevant to ask you.
I'd watch it. If it were ultimately my decision, no, I don't want to see this. It's strictly a cash grab for the UFC, and neither one of these guys belong in the UFC. Fedor's retired. He's gone out on a shield. Brock Lesnar, that riddle's been solved. Do we really even want to see these two fight? Here's how that fight's going to go down: is Brock's going to get hit in the body with a shot and crumple.
I think.
Who wants to see that fight?
Well, yeah, and by the way, it's about 3 years too late. This was the hottest matchup. This was the pound. This is the super fight everybody wanted to see 3 years ago. This is quite a different story today. But that takes us into the next story. Super fights that everybody does want to see, and this is something probably everybody's been talking about as long as probably that other fight, GSP Anderson Silva. I was kind of surprised to see that Dana. Obviously he's been warmed up to the idea for some time. The only question is, what do you do with the two titles? Is it a catch weight fight? Does GSP move up? Apparently now everybody is saying that GSP, should he get past Condit, I guess Anderson Silva is going to sit on the shelf for a minute, and they're going to fight a catch weight bout at 180. Which indicates that GSP isn't looking to make that permanent move. I think it's probably the right thing. If it's a fight everybody wants to see, he's got a chance to make money, that's one thing. But it's probably fair to say he hasn't cleaned out that division yet. There's more guys coming up that deserve a shake at that belt, Talking
about GSP?
Yeah, he hasn't cleaned out that division yet.
No, at one point he had, but there's been guys to kind of come up to the surface since he's been out, and there's a long list of guys too. So at this fight, I just don't. To me, the fact that we're even talking about this seems totally disrespectful to Carlos Condit.
Right.
Right. They're talking about putting this fight in Cowboy Stadium, 100,000 plus, blah blah blah. What happens if Condit beats GSP? Is this whole Cowboy Stadium thing not going to happen?
Then you have
are they already planning a UFC for Cowboy Stadium?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And
that kind of reminds me of that's a good question. It reminds me of Chuck and Vanderlei about 3 years too late. That was.
And if Carlos Condit does beat GSP, do people still want to see that super fight? Is that still a
not
fight
as
that
bad? People still
see?
would, but it doesn't mean as much, in my opinion. And
I
probably everybody else
agree. And you know what? I think if we're going to throw super fights out there, I think Anderson Silva, John Jones would be a much better fight.
It'd be more of a mirror image of each other. You know what I mean? One guy's a little bigger, but they have a lot of similarities in their style. Same body type.
I do not see George St-Pierre, Anderson Silva excite. That does not excite me at all. I see.
It's classic. GSP's got credible enough stand-up, but I don't think that'd be the secret to doing anything in this fight. I think clearly you'd want to take him down,
He's going to take him down. He's going to hold him there for 3 rounds, 5 rounds,
Classic
whatever it is,
grappler versus
and
striker
then
matchup. Just
5 rounds, not a GSP is how I see that going down.
Do you think he probably would take that by decision? Should it happen?
I mean, I would be pulling for my boy Anderson Silva, but yeah, I would say GSP wins that fight.
Just because he controls the pace
Yeah.
and scoring, basically.
He basically takes him down and lays on him.
Lays on him? Wow, that's interesting. Either way, I mean, I don't agree with you there, but I mean, I think it's.
Do you not agree that he would just take him down and control the fight?
No, I don't
do you
think
he
would
would
do
finish Anderson Silva?
I'm not saying he would finish Anderson Silva. I'm saying
we haven't seen him finish anybody in how long?
I think we'd
and
probably
he's going to finish
see him,
Anderson Silva.
I think we'd probably see him stand a little bit more than you think, just because
Freddie
Roach seems to.
That would be stupid.
Well, that's what you say, but I mean, you're not Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach seems to think different. He seems to think that GSP, that there is a way to beat Anderson Silva, and I think if anybody could figure out that, yeah. That's what he says. Okay. And I would think if anybody could find a way, I guess it would be Freddie Roach, but that raises an interesting point. What do you do about the feet? I mean, it's not boxing. You know what I mean? You got to watch out for, front kicks. You got all sorts of things. I don't know.
Freddie Roach, phenomenal boxing trainer. I respect that guy truly, but he's never had to tell his fighter to worry about getting kicked in the face.
That's true. That's a true fact. I mean, a real interesting fight, but again, Freddie Roach says that Anderson Silva, of course, is the bigger guy, and it's probably better that it's a catchweight fight instead of a true 185-pound matchup. But again, that's neither here nor there.
Well, since Freddie Roach said it, I mean, okay, Anderson Silva would probably get knocked out then.
Well, I don't know. I think he's qualified to make a prediction as anybody.
No, absolutely. He's more qualified than a lot of people are. I'm not trying to say that, but come on, let's not be stupid here to sit here and say GSP should stand in the middle of the cage with Anderson Silva.
Bottom line is he's still got to get past Condit. That's the bottom line. So
I'm not sure he does. I'm not sure that they won't put this fight together regardless.
He's not. He didn't get the chance to fight Nick Diaz and win the belt for no reason. I mean, the guy could stretch people. He could fight anywhere it takes place. I think it's probably his last performance that probably people aren't giving him the benefit of the doubt because of that last performance.
Nor should they be because it was terrible. But if let me ask you a question now. If GSP just kind of ekes out a decision like he has been his last couple fights, can we at least agree on that? He hasn't been the most exciting fighter the last couple years of his. We can't agree on that?
No, I'm saying no. You're right.
Okay. And what happens if he pulls another fight like that against Carlos Condit? And then what? People are going to be excited about this match.
It's gonna. You know what? Like a loss, I think that kind of changes things. It takes a lot of the glamour and the mystique out of that super fight.
The only thing that would bring the excitement up a level is if GSP went in there against Carlos Condit and just completely dominated him and finished him, which I'm just not quite sure that's going to happen.
It seems to be the plan, but again, training the same camp. I mean, they're not like really tight training partners. That's the report anyway. But again, you got to wonder how much being in the same camp plays into that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You talk to people, you see certain things. I mean, it's not like, hey, it's my best friend, but it's do you like to shoot for the left? I mean, are you holding your weight? Like what technically are you doing that he would be able to spot in a fight? You might be able to see something. So we'll find out. Daniel Cormier, Frank Mir officially announced. I mean, they've been talking about it. I guess now it's finally on paper. November 3rd, Chesapeake Energy Arena, Oklahoma City. That's kind of an interesting place for that fight. But man, what a treat for the fans. I mean, a fantastic main event. Both guys are expected to join and rejoin the UFC after the fight. Do you like this matchup? And would you consider with a win over Frank Mir, would Cormier be a top 5 heavyweight in the world?
You know what? A lot of people already have him in the top 5, and which I kind of argue a little bit. I mean, I know Josh Barnett was kind of his first big test, I guess you could say. Yeah, and Bigfoot. And
both credible wins, but
the odds on this fight, I hate to just keep on jumping at the odds. The odds on this fight, they got Frank Mir at like a plus 200. I've seen one website plus 250. And maybe I'm just looking at this completely wrong, but I don't know. I mean, I think you see this more as a pick'em fight. Am I crazy there?
You know what? I mean, I don't know that you're totally crazy for saying that. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a pick'em fight. I don't know. It's fair to have Frank Mir at a 2-1 dog. I mean,
we're talking about a guy that just fought for the UFC title. Granted, he got owned. I'm not trying to sit here and act like he looked good in that fight,
right, but Junior Dos
Santos fought for the UFC title.
Right, Junior Dos Santos is Junior Dos Santos, and there's no shame in losing a guy like that.
You think we're ready to throw Daniel Cormier in with a guy like that?
You know what? I would say a win over Frank Mir. I don't think you can make the argument that he's a top 5. If you don't think he's top 5 now, I mean, you can't argue that he's definitely very close.
I say he's really close to the top 5. I personally would not put him in my top 5 until I see him get a win over one of the top UFC fighters or a guy that's fighting. Frank Mir would do that for me.
A good, credible win over Frank Mir. I would think you at least top 3. If he finishes him in spectacular fashion, I mean, I think you could probably make that argument.
And it brings, I mean, there's no question that he's going to the UFC in his next fight.
Which I'm glad to see, by the way.
Yeah, he's a training partner of Cain Velasquez, and
Right.
of course he thinks Cain Velasquez is going to win the belt, which he's not going
Right.
to fight Cain Velasquez for the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
So there's already talks about him moving down to 205, and
Well, you know what? That's the interesting part about Cormier is if you look at his physique, it's funny.
Yeah.
You never think that's not like he's in horrible shape. It's just that when you think like Olympic athlete, you think like chiseled. You know what I mean? You think
Right.
he should be on the cover of ESPN magazine or something. Cormier looks like he might be able to make 205 one day.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's
it's
any
not
question.
out of the realm.
There's any question. I think that's something that he's going to look into doing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny too because of the guy like his, just looking at his overall physique. Like, I mean, the fact that he had the gas tank that he had going 5 rounds like that with Barnett. I mean, it should come as no surprise. The guy's an Olympic athlete at the end of the day, but. Man, that'd be kind of a scary thing for him to go down to 205 for a lot of guys.
I don't know why. I mean, there's a couple fighters that I'm just not sold on, and Daniel Cormier happens to be one. I know he beat Bigfoot. I know he beat Josh Barnett. I know we saw what Bigfoot did in his UFC debut. All right,
against Cain Velasquez.
One of the most lopsided performances we've ever seen.
Well, he got cut. He got cut and then he could. I mean, I'm not making it. I'm just saying. Cain Velasquez has done that to how many people?
I just don't know why. I got no reason why I'm not higher on this guy than I am, but I would like to see him, fight in the octagon. And I know he's fighting Frank Mir. He's still in the strike force. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You know what? You're going to be, if you're not a believer this fight, then you're definitely.
I don't
want to
say I'm not a believer, but I think people are a little too early to kind of putting him on a pedestal a little too early, in my opinion.
You know what I think that is? I think it's just the progression that he's had from each fight to each fight. You know what I mean? Like from Bigfoot to Josh Barnett. You got to wonder what. He's made leaps. I mean, he was a wrestler, and clearly his striking's coming around to the point.
People want to talk about Josh Barnett like he's one of the top heavyweights in the world. These underground people that announcers and people are so afraid to talk about. I think he fights like he is sometimes, but sometimes he puts on bad performances.
I would say his last couple performances, if nothing else, show he's a really efficient fighter. I mean, he sustained almost no damage.
I'm just sitting here trying to. I don't know why I'm down on the guy. I'm not down on him. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I just don't know if he's top 5 right now.
If he stretches your boy Frank, is that going to change your mind?
Some people have him ranked 3rd. Behind Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos. That's too high.
That might be a bit much. I say top 5.
I mean, there's heavyweights. There's heavyweights in the UFC a little lesser known that I think could hold their own against a guy like Daniel Cormier.
Well, that's why they're in the UFC, and that's why it's exactly the right
which is
move.
why he should not be ranked 3rd in the world.
This fight against Frank Mir is going to tell us a lot. I mean,
I agree.
That's it's going to answer a lot of questions, and at the end of the day, that's why we love the sport. I mean, we get to see all the answers, and we'll go from there. Hey. Not throwing Tito under the bus this week.
Wow.
It's positive, man. I know we got under your skin a little bit the last couple weeks, but that's what the fans love. We love seeing people get riled up, and I love seeing it too, quite frankly. Tito partners up with a promoter, Roy Engelbrecht. I probably mangled that. But anyway, he's a promoter. They're going to create a new amateur league in Southern California. It's called Fight Club MMA. Fight Club MMA is supposed to emerge with the already successful promotion. I guess they call it Fight Club OC. And Tito's going to help develop a lot of the talent. It sounds like they got kind of a nice little thing going on down there. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, probably every major city's got a couple regional promotions. Right. So, I mean, it sounds like he teamed up with one of those, but now they have management, they have credibility, they have experience, which is kind of it's kind of nice to see, just because it doesn't seem like there's a spot in the front office right now for Tito. It doesn't sound like Dana.
It doesn't sound like there will ever be a spot in the front office.
Right, and it's his desire to develop fighters and find new talent, and I think this is probably the best way for him to go about it, and it seems to be in his backyard. So it seems like it could be a good fit for him. I mean, he's not even coming out saying, hey, we're going to compete with the UFC, we're going to move in their backyard like some other promotions, but, he's saying they want to be kind of like college football is to the NFL. They want to be a developmental league, a feeder league into the bigger UFC. I mean, is that the right way to play it? I mean, first, give me your initial impression, and is that the right way to go about it?
Absolutely. There's no way you could just start up a league, a promotion, whatever you want to call it, and compete with the big boys. I mean, UFC.
That's crazy.
Even to try to start something up to compete with like the likes of a Bellator, I think is a little far-reaching. In my opinion.
Yeah, you don't just start out at the top. I mean,
no.
I don't care who
TV deals and superstars. You just can't do it.
Yeah, it comes over time.
So if as far as going in from the ground level with amateur fighters, I think it's great. I mean, I wonder. Eventually, is he going to sponsor these fighters? I mean, I think only time will tell.
He probably will some.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think time will only tell if it's just him trying to stay relevant in mixed martial arts.
I don't think that's the case. I don't. I mean, it seems like he had a genuine interest in training fighters, which, like I said, you raise an interesting point. He probably will sponsor a lot of the fighters and train. I mean, I just think it's a good fit for him all the way around. And like I said, just not going out there and publicly blasting Dana in the UFC. I mean, it seems like he's going about it the right way,
One
too.
thing people don't realize about Tito is he's a fantastic businessman. I mean, look what he's
sure.
done with his clothing line. He's probably making more money on his clothing line than he ever did in the UFC.
Yeah, if not, I mean, it's got to be damn
pretty
close.
Yeah. So I mean, he is a good businessman.
For sure.
You know, and I wish him luck in whatever he does. So
yeah.
I'm backing it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a fan. It's good to see him go there, and if there's no seats for him in the UFC front office, if Chuck's taking them all, and so what? go somewhere else. I mean, there's plenty of cameras in Southern California, and there's plenty of no shortage of talent.
The way mixed martial arts is growing,
it's crazy
in the States and around the world. Quite frankly, there's enough room for everybody.
And you know what? If nothing else, he just brought a lot of credibility to that promotion.
For sure. That's one thing. That's one step that this promotion is going to have over a lot of the other regional promotions is that they're not backed by a name like Tito Ortiz.
Right. No, that's huge, and that you're not going to see any backroom shenanigans.
And just imagine the contacts he has, where it's
only a matter of time before if they do everything the right way and they don't piss anybody off and burn. It's only a matter of time before they you'll start hearing them. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to think that something like that could get a TV deal in a couple years.
Yeah, no question.
Last story of the night, Jose Aldo. He was hit by a car in Brazil. He injures his foot. If you guys take a look at the picture, I mean, you can see his foot in a wrap. It's all over the internet. He says he's good to go against Frankie Edgar. I mean, I know a lot of people in Brazil were kind of freaking out there, and I'm not gonna say I was freaking out, but it's just like as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my God, another main event, dude. This is crazy. Like, have you ever seen luck like this? And like I said, he says he's good to go. My question to you is, how much of this do you think is Aldo? This is Aldo wanting to fight at home. I mean, he had a great card last time he was in Brazil. I mean, he was the hometown hero. He got the result he's looking. I mean, the guy's like a god down there. I mean,
as well he should be.
Absolutely. I mean, do you think this is a case of him just wanting to be in front of the hometown crowd?
I don't know. I mean, we're still a pretty good chunk of time away from this fight. I don't think there's anything.
Time.
I mean, if it was a week or two, I'd be a little worried about it. Be a little worried about him. With the pressure of fighting in front of his hometown crowd and not wanting to let all that down.
That didn't seem to bother him last time, So
no, but what I mean is like the pressure of that. Like if it was 2 weeks out and he hurt his foot, the pressure of I'm just going to go in there injured.
Right.
I think people are kind of blowing this out of proportion. I don't think he's hurt. I think he's going to be just fine. Maybe it hinders his training for a couple of days, but
that's what I was thinking.
I think he'll be okay.
Well, it's not severe enough for a cast.
Right. Which to me it means maybe he stays off it for a week and then gets right back at it. We're still far enough away from this fight to where I really don't think it's going to play that big of a factor in the fight.
Probably not for a pro like Aldo. I mean, he everybody knows he's a fan of those leg kicks, those sick, nasty, vicious leg kicks. If it only holds him out of I mean, like I said, the guy's a pro. He's been around the game for a long time. I mean, I'm sure taking it easy a week or whatever it is in camp and not throwing 500 kicks a day, I don't think that's going to stop him.
No,
I don't think it's
I don't either.
So as far as that goes, I mean, I hope he's right. I hope he's not hiding anything. I mean, I damn sure don't want to see Frankie just walk right into another title like that. I don't, and I'm not even hating on Frankie. I can't stand.
It would be bad news.
I don't want to see 5 more rounds of Frankie Edgar. No more 5-round Edgar fights. I'm tired of those, man. Put somebody away. I mean, you know what? It's not even Frankie. It's those jackass fans of his, man. Just do nothing but stick up for him and his titles and his immediate rematch. I'm tired of it.
I'll tell you something about MMA fans, man. There's a lot of them that think just like those Frankie Edgar fans, and that's the best thing about mixed martial arts is everybody's passionate about it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
everybody's got their opinion. Everyone thinks their opinion's right.
I can't take anything away from him. It's just, man, those fans. I didn't think he was going to walk into a title shot this early, and now I'm just like,
I just don't get the love. I mean, I don't get the excitement around him. He seems like a great guy. That's all. That's all fine and dandy. But giving him all these title shots, and let's just say he beats Jose Aldo. I mean,
that's what I'm afraid of.
I mean, another immediate rematch.
That's what you hit the nail on the head. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, I don't want to see this little bit of controversy, creep its way back into the room again, and now we see another immediate. I just can't. I can't take it, dude.
Yeah, no, neither can I. I mean, we as fans of a non-Frankie Edgar fan, let's just hope Aldo goes in there and finishes that fight quick.
I want to see him handle business. And you know what? I am excited. Just the fact that it's in Brazil. Like, if you turn up the sound all the way, you go watch in a bar.
We'll watch him jump in the crowd again. Yeah.
And you almost feel like you're there because I love the passion. I love the soccer chants, and that brings me to my last question. And that Frankie hopes that the Brazilian fans cheer him in the end. I mean, do you think that's very realistic in Brazil? I mean, these guys are well. Talk about what Shale's experience down in Brazil is probably a little bit different.
It's a lot different.
But I mean, they're passionate. I don't.
Well, I don't. If he's expecting to get cheered, I mean, he's assuming he's going to win the fight and get cheered at the end.
Do you think they'll cheer for him when the ref is like peeling Frankie off the mat after Aldo
head
kicks him?
I don't know.
Knockout?
I don't know.
You think he'll cheer then?
I think he's thinking best case scenarios. He goes in there, puts on a great performance, and wins the fight and gets cheered.
You know what?
I don't see that happening.
You know what? I mean, it would be nice to see. It would be nice to see sportsmanship like that. I just don't see it with a bunch of drunken Brazilians. I'm sorry. And their hometown god fighting in the main event. I don't see that happening unless Aldo destroys Edgar and it's post-fight somewhere. I don't see that.
Yeah, man. To be quite honest with you, I could really care less.
Either way, I can't wait to see it. I'm just like I said, I'm all about it. I just don't want to see any controversy kind of take away from the event itself.
I know with 151 we've kind of been spoiled. 151 getting canceled. We haven't really had an event to talk about.
No, I know.
It's been kind of like, man, I'm ready to see some meaningful
man,
fights. I got ONE FC, I got Bellator,
but itching to make a bet, man. I'm just like,
it's not the same, man. ONE FC. Nice effort, pal, but it's not the same.
Well, you got to get that streaming thing squared away, man.
Effort.
Can't even get the main event that everybody's looking to see on the actual stream. I mean, man, what does that say about your promotion? I mean, maybe Dana's right. Maybe they are the laughing stock of the MMA world.
They are, dude. And you know what? Watching that,
watching
that promotion and watching that pay-per-view, it was bad, man. I don't even want to. I feel like I'm just sitting here poo-pooing on the whole thing, but.
Well, you paid $14, so you have every right to.
Yeah, man, it was bad.
Your opinion holds
I got about 45 minutes into it, and I'm thinking, I can just record the rest and watch something else, but it was bad.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll see what they. We'll see who.
Maybe
who
the underground thinks
next.
I'm not a true fan. I don't know.
Who do they sign
next?
They
can suck it, but yeah, exactly. What tomato can is gonna go fight for him next?
I don't think Sakura's doing anything.
Aoki, was it Aoki I saw fighting for them next? Well, whatever. It's a joke, man.
It's Aoki. We'll find out. Hey, anyway, man, you got anything you want to plug? We're throwing out there.
I don't.
Check us out, everybody. Saturdays, like I said, this show we're gonna have some really awesome fighters on there from Invicta, from Bellator. So stay tuned. We haven't forgotten about the video show. We're gonna have some new, fresh things coming up for y'all. Check us out. PFPsports.com main page. Click on the radio, or you can just go to iTunes. iTunes. There you go. How could I forget iTunes, for God's sake? got every Apple product they ever made, and I can't even remember iTunes. Anyway, you guys, Twitter, @NickPFPSports.
@DarrenPFPSports.
Make sure you like our Facebook page, Pound for Pound Sports, and we'll catch you next time. Praise be to the Most High. That ain't no lie.
Cheers.